You're not just creating content, you're producing a show.
On cam ready in three, two, one.
This is On Cam Ready. I'm Jamie Maglietta. I'm offering tips using my podcast, Think Like a Producer. This is a YouTube only podcast, and I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please subscribe to the channel On Cam Ready Media and check out my other podcast, Unknown to Known, where I interview television news talent. I also talk with YouTubers, influencers, former TV personalities, actresses, producers, you name it. I ask them about their journey from unknown to known and how to help you navigate this new media space that we're all trying to carve a little piece out of and make our own. So every post, podcast, appearance is an episode in the story of your personal brand, and you are the showrunner. That's today's topic. See, when I worked in television news and I worked across CNN, Fox News Channel, MSNBC, BET, the list goes on. I've had a long career, and through it all, nothing went on air without a plan. We had rundowns, story arcs, segment timing, transitions, not because we loved control, but because structure gives creativity direction. Now that I coach experts and entrepreneurs, I see the same issue over and over again. People are creating content, but not producing a brand. Let me repeat that. They're creating content, but not producing a brand. I am personally focusing on my own personal branding, and I use brand builders. If you're interested in learning more about them, check out the link in my description. I decided to go with a branding group to help solidify my own thoughts that I gained while in my master's degree and just throughout my career. And it's been good to be in this group because they have given me the frameworks that I didn't really have before. And now my visibility program, which I'm coming out with, or by it'll actually be out. So visit my website, oncamready.com. This brand builders group really did help me start to put my ideas into frameworks too. And it's really important to have that structure. Sometimes we just don't know how to come about it. And this podcast, this show, this YouTube channel is all about helping you think like a producer so you can navigate this new media space strategically and with your brand in mind. You don't want to post without purpose, chasing trends instead of themes. I've said this so many times, and people will say, oh, well, if I post a trend, I can go viral. Yeah, virality is possible, but to build longevity, you need people to know, like, and trust you and come back for more. And if they love that one viral video, but you don't deliver more, are they going to stick around? Are they even going to follow you? Or just like that video, move on? It's also about that email list, I'm realizing. So you need to have a big strategic plan in place so you can keep those that are following you captivated and intrigued and engaging. And that's the job of a showrunner. And as a showrunner who's been managing shows and teams and brands in a television sense, I'm now using the skills there and applying it to clients and people and personal brands, and it works. It's so similar. If you're a producer and you're listening to this, you are more than that television news show. You could be someone's personal branding expert, someone's marketer, someone's champion of ideas. There's so many roles out there as more and more experts start navigating and finding little plots of land on YouTube and across the internet to call home. Now, some people have said it's like the Wild West, but it really is. Now is the chance to turn your social media feed into your own media channel and carve a niche out for yourself on YouTube, Spotify, podcasts, whatever. Spotify has video. So if you have a podcast, you should be creating in video. That is what we will see more of. So if you are not, you need to start thinking that way. YouTube is also the most searched platform for podcasts, which is why I have one podcast, Think Like a Producer, that I am focusing only on YouTube. I want to see, what does it do? How does it work? Maybe eventually I'll spread it out, but for right now, it's a YouTube only podcast. And Unknown to Known is across all platforms, so be sure to check that one out as well. A showrunner knows the mission, the message, the tone of every episode, even before it's written. They plot it out, they plan. Goodness me, I miss it sometimes. You have to think about your favorite TV series or your favorite newscast. You know what you'll get from it: humor, heart, tension, insight, because there's consistency. You know that at the top of the hour, there's going to be a tease if you're watching television news at 7 p.m. There's this tease off the top with 3 different stories that we're covering, and then we're going to get to our A block, our lead story. You know that's happening every single time you watch Wolf, every single time you watch a show on, say ABC or CBS in their primetime news. You know it. It's predictable, and you need to be that way too, because that is how you're going to build an audience. The audience wants to know what to expect from you every time they see your face. So if you show up in a feed or on YouTube or they start hearing you across platforms, they want that consistency, that reliability. You don't want to switch it up too much. I've been testing things out and trying new things and trying to figure out, what do I want to be consistent with? And that's fine. Do it. Test it out. But in the end, you need a strategy. And that's where I see myself and other producers fitting in this new world order of media. See, in TV, we think of seasons, we think of hour-long newscasts, we think in sections, in segments, in blocks. You can think of that too. Each season could represent a theme in your visibility journey: confidence, storytelling, expertise, reinvention. Structure your content in segments. I call this the TV sweeps method, where maybe you focus 1 week on one topic and create as much content as you can around it and see where your juices go, right? See where the juices start flowing. And then maybe plan out the next week on a different topic that you love talking about, or a different angle or approach. And by doing that, it will help you start to figure out what you enjoy doing most, what you like to talk about, and start to build your audience in a way that they know you can be liked and trusted, right? Just like TV sweeps. Sweeps week in TV is when they start throwing everything at you to keep you, entertain you, intoxicate you. And you could be thinking of your content that way, your YouTube that way. Just think of one segment at a time, one topic. Give people a reason to come back for that first week, and then at the end of the week, give them something new to come back for. And don't forget casting. See, this is the other thing that my mind just was blown open, guys. You are casting your podcast, your social media feeds when you have live guests, your YouTube channel when you interview someone. You can have this larger than life opportunity if you start collaborating with the certain different types of characters that really help you shape your content in a way that's consistent and allows for chat. I would suggest, if you're looking to start figuring out what to do, start collaborating. Find those partners that you could show up on camera with and talk about one topic forever and see where it goes. And maybe you'll start to have that repeat character keep coming back and start building your followings together. It could become your team, your mentor, your clients. You could bring in people, even bring in your audience. Test them out and see where it could go, because collaboration and having those conversations with specific voices, reoccurring characters is also something that works in television. And I think it could actually work for social media lives, YouTube, and podcasting. So don't always feel like you have to cast your podcast like a different guest every week. You don't have to. If you don't have guests, have like every third week you bring on Marsha from down the block, as long as you guys have something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? All right. Finally, a good showrunner knows when to pause, pivot, or rebrand. Every great show evolves, and so do you as a person. And that's also why I feel like people who have had my expertise, my experience, can really help produce people because we've produced shows that always evolve. For the longest time at CNN, every single year I felt like I had a new show to launch, to give birth to create, new anchors to bring in and get ready every day. And when you have that line of work where you're constantly with new people, new talent, and they're all evolving and you're evolving with them, it really does strengthen your capability of coaching too. So, showrunners are coaches, they're strategists, and you need to start thinking like a producer, like a showrunner, so you can strategically position yourself online and capture the audience of your dreams. And that evolution is what helps you stay relevant. When you start thinking like a showrunner, I'm going to go with that because I always say think like a producer, but in this respect, let's go bigger. The person in charge, the showrunner. You stop posting out of pressure and start producing with purpose. You stop worrying about algorithms and start focusing on audience experience. I want you to ask yourself, if my brand were a show, would I tune in? Because the best producers don't just chase ratings, they build relationships, they build a brand, they build a show people want to come back to. I mean, sometimes they fail at it. I mean, we all have our wins, right? But that is ultimately what a producer and a showrunner does. They take an idea, they build it, they transform it, and they evolve with it to grow. And that's how you need to start thinking if you want to find your piece of land on YouTube and start turning your social media platforms into your own media channel. Be sure to subscribe to this channel on YouTube, On Cam Ready Media. Think Like a Producer is one of the podcasts we offer. I also have Unknown to Known. Unknown to Known is a podcast with a YouTube element. That is where I interview TV personalities and we really try to get into the mindset. On the channel, I'll also be offering tutorials. I look at Riverside, technical like lights, mics, and more to help you really plan out everything you need to be successful. Thanks for listening. And now stay tuned for the next episode of Think Like a Producer.